Hello, I'm Professor George Easton, and welcome to the course Process Analysis and Six Sigma. The purpose of this video is to give you a quick introduction to the mechanics of the course. I'm going to give you a tour of the course Canvas website and how I intend to use it. Then I'll talk about a few aspects of the course syllabus. And finally, I'll make sure that you understand the system for turning in your solutions to the homeworks, which is based on Google Forms. So let's begin by turning our attention to the course Canvas website. So I've used my browser to navigate to canvas.emory.edu, as you can see in the address bar up here. And I've logged in and I've clicked the link for the course. And what I'm showing you now is essentially the landing page where you'll land when you log into the course. My page here may look a little bit different than yours because as the instructor for the course I have a lot of buttons relating to editing and publishing the material. But this is close enough to what you're going to see that you'll certainly get the point. The course proceeds as a series of cycles, and there is going to be one module for each cycle. These modules are typically divided up into two pieces. One is a list of videos that you will need to take a look at, and the second part is the assignment for that cycle. I will warn you that in future cycles there will be questions associated with these videos that you'll need to turn in. But basically what's going on here is I kind of think of the videos section as corresponding to what would occur in class if this were a face-to-face class. And then the assignment section corresponds to the homework. So obviously everything in an online course doesn't occur in the face-to-face class. It's basically homework. But I've maintained this kind of relationship to what would happen in a face-to-face class. So for example, the beginning of the main material for this particular cycle is the Introduction to Process Analysis in Six Sigma. And if I click on this, you're going to see that you go to a page that contains a embedded YouTube video. And I do deliver the video content in this course using YouTube. YouTube is by far and away the most reliable mechanism for delivering video to you. Plus, essentially all of you have a great deal of experience using YouTube as well. This particular video is 15 minutes long. I tend to tell you how long they're going to be, and then the PowerPoint slides that are discussed in the video are given as attachments below, and I generally give the slides in two forms. One is the actual PowerPoint and the other is the PDF file. So my expectation is that you're downloading these PowerPoint slides onto your computer for your future reference, and you are listening to the videos on YouTube. So if I click on the back arrow here, I'll return to the list of modules. And what's going to happen here is as the course unfolds, there'll be a module for each cycle, and I'll post the newest modules at the top of the page. So the modules are going to appear on the page in reverse chronological order. And the idea here is that when you log into the system, you're going to land on the newest material, the material that you're most likely to be working on. Just to make sure this is absolutely clear, I'm going to show you the modules for another version of the course. So I already have the course Canvas site for the previous year loaded up in a tab. So if I click over here, you'll see the module for cycle 1, and it follows the same format. There's a section for the videos and a section for the assignment. And then above this will be the module for cycle 2, again having the same two-part format. And then cycle 3 will be above this, and so on. Now returning to the 2018 version of the course, I want to talk about the other two main parts of Canvas that I'm going to use. The announcements are very important, so let me click on that, and you'll see there are a couple of announcements here. I'm going to use the announcements to alert you to things like when new material is available or any corrections that I need to make. and I expect you to be aware of these announcements and responsible for what is in them. My understanding is that students receive emails of announcements when I create them, but my expectation is that you'll be aware of these announcements usually within a few hours of me posting them, but certainly within a day. So the key thing is that a lot of important information for the course is going to come out through the announcements, and you are responsible for the content of those announcements. The last of the three key parts of Canvas that I use is the discussion area. The discussion area is for things like questions, discussions with other students about clarification about things like implementation or how various ideas might apply in your industry. It is for contributing articles or videos that are external to the course that supplement the course materials. Basically, everything that you might associate with that label of discussions. Your participation in these discussions is going to count as an important part and perhaps the major part of your class participation grade. So I really am expecting that all students will contribute to these discussions and participate in them. Students can create their own discussion themes in order to initiate new questions or submit new materials. You can participate also by replying to the discussions that other students have initiated. And I have here a couple of examples. One discussion that's created for short student bios so that the students in the course can know something about the other students in the course. This is particularly important because there are students from different programs in this course. And as an example of a discussion contributing material from outside the course, I have another discussion that I've created here that provides articles and links related to the implementation of Lean Six Sigma in the El Paso Fire Department. So those are the three main parts of Canvas that I use in the course. The modules, which is where you land when you go to the home page, the announcements, and the discussion. I'm really expecting you to find all of the course material through this list of modules, not through trying to go through the pages or other links here that take you into various other parts of the course. So use this list of modules as the primary way that you think about the course and access the material in the course. Now the next thing I want to do in this introduction is to make sure that you know how the assignments work and specifically how you turn in your answers to the assignments. So going to the assignment that's part of Cycle 1 here, I'm going to go ahead and click on the assignment itself. And it's in a PDF file that my expectation is you will have downloaded. So I'm going to go ahead to that PDF file. And so the first assignment consists of reading chapters 1 and 7 in the textbook and then answering questions about those chapters. And if we go back to the course Canvas site and switch back to the module, you'll see that there are links here for answering the questions. So I'm going to go ahead and right-click on the link for answering the Chapter 1 questions and then open it in a new link. And we'll come to a Google form which will allow you to record your answers to the questions. So let's go ahead and fill out this form as if we were answering the question. So I'm going to put in my first name, and then I'm going to put in my last name. And the next thing that is going to be used as the identifier for each student is your Emory Net ID. Now this is not your student ID number. It's not a number at all. It's going to be some kind of alpha string, possibly alphanumeric, and it's the ID that you use when you log into Opus. So for example, mine is G. Easton. So please use your Net ID, not your student ID number. The Net ID is a username. It's not private. I don't want your password here, just the username. And then also, please, if you're asked for it, put in your email address. So my email address at Emory is george.easton@emory.edu. Then you're going to go through the questions and answer them. And these questions are generally in the same order as the answers occur in the reading. Not always, but usually. So my intention here is that you're going to take these questions and go through the reading and answer them as you encounter the answers in the text. This makes it rather easy to do this. The questions are intended to make sure you're doing the reading and to focus your attention on certain things that I think are important. And if you follow this general procedure that you do the reading and answer the questions at the same time, it's going to make the process of doing the assignments very reasonable. So what you're going to do is you're going to read the questions and figure out what the answers are. And I'm just going to click some answers here kind of randomly because I want to show you how you turn these in. So I'm just going to click a few of these, and you'll answer all the questions, and then you'll go back down to the bottom. And you're going to click the Submit button. And Google Forms will come back with the response saying that your response has been recorded. And you'll see that there's a little link here that says you can edit your response. So if you save this link, you can go back in and change your responses. And certainly the easiest way to do that is to click on the link so that you've gone back in here and then just bookmark the assignment. So if I go ahead and bookmark this page, and I can give it a more reasonable name like Homework 1, Chapter 1. And then if I look at my bookmarks, you'll see that Homework Chapter 1 is saved here, and if I click on that, I'm going to go back to being able to edit this assignment. So that's basically how you're going to turn in your assignments, and I wanted to alert you to the editing link here and encourage you to bookmark these so that you can go back in and change answers if you want to. You can submit your responses more than once. I always check for duplicate responses, and I use the latest one if I have a student that has submitted multiple ones. But it's generally easier if you just bookmark this Edit Your Response link so that you can go back and change any answers that you want to. So now I want to pull up the assignment again, and at the end of the assignments I have attached the questions. And I encourage you to actually print out these questions and record your answers as you're reading through the textbook on the paper version, and then go in and enter all of the questions on the Google form. I think you'll find that this is an effective way to do this. It gives you a record of what your responses actually were, and it's going to eliminate the possibility that you've entered a whole lot of answers into the Google form but have not yet clicked on the Submit button, and something happens to your internet connection that causes you to get disconnected. So back on the course Canvas site, under this first assignment, I have a page here that talks about the recommended procedure for submitting your answers via the Google form. And we can go ahead and look at that, and it will tell you what the problem is. If you don't follow this kind of procedure or something similar, several of you at least are going to lose a substantial amount of work. So what I recommend that you do is you print out the questions, and I've made that easy by attaching them to the PDF files that contain the homework assignments. Then read through the material and record your answers to the questions on that paper copy of the questions. Then go to the Google Forms, enter your answers quickly. It won't take very long once you have everything organized. Click the Submit button, and then save as a bookmark the link to your form so you can go back and edit it. That is a very effective way to do this, which will very likely save quite a number of you a lot of time. If you don't assemble your answers in advance and save them somehow, you don't necessarily have to record your answers on the printed copy of the questions. You could take notes or whatever, but if you don't do that, you're quite likely to lose your work at some point during the course. Okay, so I'm trying to give you a heads up here about how to make your life as easy as possible. So I think I've covered everything that I need to with respect to submitting the homework assignments, you're going to be looking for these links to the questions on the Google Forms. The ones that are associated with the reading will typically be under the assignment section. Starting with the next cycle, you're also going to have links to questions that relate to the videos, and those links will occur with the videos in the videos section, but you're responsible for answering all of the questions that are associated with a particular cycle. Now, the last thing I wanted to cover in this introduction has to do with essentially a heads up about how the material is organized. The course will proceed in two parallel streams. One stream involves non-technical things. These are really management-oriented things. And the other stream involves technical things, which means the various kinds of technical tools which are associated with Six Sigma. In the non-technical stream, we'll be looking at things like the introduction to Lean Six Sigma, what the process model is, the problem-solving process, the Toyota production system, what Lean is, and a variety of people-oriented ideas such as involvement, empowerment, reward and recognition, safety, and job enrichment. All of these topics really have to do with the management system and the management structure, and they're not inherently technical. So we'll be going through this non-technical stream. But at the same time, in every cycle, we're going to be going through the technical stream as well. So each cycle will contain non-technical things and technical things. And I think that starts in cycle 3. But the kinds of things we'll be looking at in the technical stream are statistical process control, process capability, what sigma levels are, and the associated DPMO, defects per million opportunities. We'll be looking at experimentation and two-sample tests, analysis of variance, factorial designs, fractional factorial designs, and then MSA, MSE stands for Measurement System Analysis and Measurement System Evaluation. So expect to have both technical and non-technical material in each of the cycles. So this concludes my introduction to essentially the mechanics of the course. I am very much looking forward to all of you participating in this course and us having some great discussions. This is really, really important material, and it can in many ways be quite life-changing in terms of your careers. And I also, even though this is an online course, hope to meet all of you certainly in our online synchronous help sessions, but also face-to-face on campus at some point.